One of the other reasons why I think that the Greeks practiced human sacrifice, as did all our ancestors if we go far enough back in time, one of the reasons why I think the Greeks sacrificed was because the Cretans sacrificed. And again, for a long time, scholars said, oh, that's just not possible. They were too civilized. But there is a temple in Crete, on Crete, in Crete, on Crete, concrete, never mind, sorry, that an earthquake happened and it shook this temple down. And when this was excavated, they found an actual human sacrifice in progress. And the remnants, the skeletal remains within this temple, what would have been a young man was lying on a sacrificial table with the skeleton of an older man holding a knife. And very clearly, that's what was going on. And probably the sacrifice was being done to stop the earthquakes from happening. But at any rate, back to the Orestia and the events leading up to that. So Agamemnon sacrificed his young daughter Iphigenia, got the fair wind to Troy, and sailed off. He's gone for 10 years. That's how long the Trojan War lasted. And most of that war was not necessarily even engaged in battle. But anyway, back home in Mycenae, Clytemnestra, she resented the fact that Iphigenia, her daughter, had been sacrificed. And she took up with Agamemnon's other brother, and they had a 10-year affair going on. And so after, the Trojan War was over and Agamemnon came home, bringing as one of his spoils Cassandra, who was the doomed prophetess of Troy. All of these myths are interrelated, of course. She rolls out it would have been a purple carpet. In most places it says red, but it would have been purple because purple is the color of royalty. She rolls out the purple carpet and says, hey, I'm so glad you're home. Come on in. Let me run a bath for you. And that's what she did. But while he was in the bath, she stabbed him and she killed him. She also killed Cassandra, which probably wasn't a really wise thing to do, but Cassandra was really blameless, but she did. So she kills her husband Agamemnon. He doesn't die in Troy like that horrid movie portrays. And she and her lover then set up themselves up as ruler of Mycenae. Orestes goes away. He then broods about his mother killing his father. He comes back home when he is a grown-up and he kills Clytemnestra. Now, because he does this, the Morai, the Erinyes, who are called the kind ones and other nice names in order to deflect people's attentions, their attention from people, it was their job to punish people. And matricide was one of the worst things you could do. It was one of the most heinous crimes. The killing of any relative was bad, but killing your mother, that was absolutely horrendous. And so they began to chase Orestes, and they chased him all over the earth to where he could not rest. And finally he petitioned Apollo. And he said, get me out of this. I shouldn't even be punished. She killed my father, and so I killed her. And so they had a trial, the first recorded murder trial in history. And the jury was made of men from Athens, and Apollo was the the defense attorney. And Apollo argued. From the Orestia, there are the lines clearly there saying he didn't kill his mother, he didn't even kill a relative, because a woman is merely the incubator for the seed of the man. And this shows a huge shift, very huge, not only in the myth, but in the thinking of the people of that time. Because before that, as I explained in the PowerPoint, and sometime before that, of course, the Greeks or the Achaeans did not understand how conception took place, and they thought that a woman could self-impregnate, get pregnant by eating beans, standing in the wind. Now it shifted. They knew men were responsible for impregnating women, and so the importance was taken away from the women, and it was given to the men. You have the advent of the male mother. male gods, and in some myth even mortals who gave birth. And so Apollo argued that she wasn't the mother, she was merely an incubator, and so by killing her, Orestes did not kill his relative. And he brought Athena in as a key witness, and Athena says this is true. She said, I was born from the head of my father. I did not have a mother. A woman is really unnecessary in the whole birthing process. And so they voted. There was a hung jury. Athena voted. Athens was her city, and Orestes was found not guilty. But not all of the jurors voted for him to be not guilty. And so the gods told the Morai or the Fates, the Erinyes, to hold off. But it wasn't that simple. The Erinyes had supposedly sprung from the blood of Uranus or Cronus. They are old. They predate the Olympians by a long time. They were very likely from Pelasgia. They refused to give it up. And so Athena built a temple for them and dedicated it to them in the hopes that, or the expectations that they would leave Orestes alone. As myth progressed and the Olympians took hold and the patriarchy really took hold, the Fates, not only the Erinyes but also the Morai, the Fates, were increasingly given less importance. But don't ever misjudge how important they were and how much the Greeks feared both the Fates and the Erinyes in their quest for retribution and revenge. And again, this play, this myth, shows a thinking from a shift from the matrifocal to the patrifocal and the importance of women. It was at this time that Dionysus replaces Hestia in the pantheon, which upset the balance of 6 females and 6 males to 7 males and 5 females. And also, it shows a deflection away from the importance of the hearth, which Hestia was the goddess of the hearth and of home, to more important matters of men.